So it's the combine week. Almost everybody's in Indianapolis. This is when a ton of deals get done. Free agent contracts get discussed, all this stuff, right? The Jimmy Garoppolo trade has been hanging over this franchise for a year. This is the week that thing is going to get hammered out. And what happens? The first day of the combine, all of a sudden we find out that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have shoulder surgery. He's going to
Right. Not even had it yet.
Yeah.
He's going to be out for 16 weeks of rehab. And John Lynch gets on the microphone today and says, we didn't know. We had no idea.
He said he made the decision to get surgery, as in Jimmy.
So I write and you write, you just wrote, I just read it on Twitter. Is Jimmy Garoppolo trying to nuke his trade value and get released? And the answer is clearly yes.
You don't have to be super smart to put 2 and 2 together on that one. It's pretty obvious. I mean, he could have got this surgery last month. He still hasn't had it. He
could have gotten it before the playoffs, or I guess after the Dallas game, and helped out the team. But
he's got an injury guarantee in his contract. Oh, he's got no guaranteed money unless he's injured. How convenient. So he's going to get $7.5 million coming up real quick. That's great.
Break that down for people, because I don't think they are seeing the full picture of what's going on. They're saying, go ahead.
Last year he had guaranteed money in his contract and a no trade clause. So he had leverage. He could pretty much say, I don't have to go there if I don't want to. Now, no guaranteed money, no trade clause. So he could get traded to a team he doesn't want to go to. That sucks. And that doesn't want, he could get cut. He has no leverage. His fate is out of his hands. If he does this, if he delays his surgery, has a surgery, gets cut, can't fail the injury, the physical.
Can't pass the physical.
Can't pass the physical. I don't know what I said. Then he gets $7.5 million. There's your guarantee. So then you start there. Now you're a free agent, and then you negotiate another deal. Seems like a very smart agent. His agent is Don Yee. That's Tom Brady's agent. That's Sean Payton's agent.
Dude's not John Lynch's agent?
I don't know if he's John Lynch's agent, but he's Sean Payton's and Tom Brady's for sure. He's not messing around. He knows what he's doing. And I feel like what's happening is they've outmaneuvered the 49ers. Like they're going to get their wish here. They're going to get what they want unless the Niners just hold on to him for no reason.
I feel like what happened was they went out, they looked for a trade. All the teams came back that were interested, and the teams that the Niners are willing to pull a trigger on are teams Jimmy doesn't want to play for. Like, I don't think he wants to go to Washington. I just feel like, Washington's going to be a mess. You can say politically. What is going on in Washington right now has entered politics.
It's the worst organization.
Right. He does not want to go into that and have that storm around him as he's trying to prove himself.
I hadn't thought of that.
I feel like that's what's happened is the teams that have matched what the Niners are willing to pull the trigger on, which isn't, I'm not saying a first. Nobody's offering a first. But, maybe a team out there doing a second, third round that the 49ers will pull the trigger on. They're teams Jimmy doesn't want. So he said, okay, I'm not seeing the trade market I want. So now I want my release. And the Niners go, we're not releasing you. We'll take whatever else we can get.
Right. And so he's saying, okay, well then let me take control of the situation this way.
All class Jimmy Garoppolo, right? That's all we heard last. And to be fair, I don't blame Jimmy Garoppolo for doing this.
The right move.
If it was my job and my life, I would want to have a say over where I was living and working. I get that.
True.
But I just am so sick and tired of hearing about how Jimmy Garoppolo was a class guy all last year because he wasn't an asshole to Trey Lance. Like, I'm sorry. I never thought he deserved the credit for that.
So
no, if he gets benched and still is the nice guy, okay, then you can give him credit. But he never got benched. So, like, he acted exactly how he's supposed to act.
Right.
Yeah. What are we going to give him, a cookie? Because he wasn't a jerk? Nice, Jimmy. He's pretty much just like every other athlete is what we're learning.
Right. And that's fine. That's fine. I don't mean to slam him for that, but I'm just not giving him a cookie either. Exactly. That's exactly the thing. Lynch. So for the record, your official prediction is what with Jimmy Garoppolo? I said he's going to wind up with the Steelers. Do you think he's going to get traded, cut? What's your official prediction?
I think he'll get cut. I don't see any team wanting to trade for him coming off of surgery, not going to be able to participate in minicamp or OTAs. I think he's going to get cut. I think he wants to get cut. And I think the Niners need to trade him. They'd have to hold on to him for a while and wait for the Aaron Rodgers saga to play out and the Russell Wilson saga to play out. They need cap space now more than they need a 4th round pick. They need that 18 million in cap space, and then when he clears his physical down the line, another 7.5 million. They're 4 million over the cap right now. If they hold on to him, they're crazy. They should cut him. Cut him. Get the cap space. That's more important.
That's what I told Rob last week on our show, that if they hold on to Jimmy to try to get trade value later, like, it's not that they couldn't get underneath the cap some other way with renegotiations or whatever. It's that they can't truly sign free agents. They're going to have to tell free agents, here's the deal we will give you once Jimmy is traded. Nobody's waiting around for that. So they got to get rid of him.
Yeah,
I guess I'm not convinced that the Niners will. They just, this whole Jimmy saga has been weird with their stance. I'm not convinced they will before the deadline.
Is it just because it would be such a massive PR hit to cut him?
No, I just think for whatever reason, they have a hard time letting Jimmy go. It's why he started. It's why he's still on this team right now. Like, I have a hard time seeing them willing to let him just released and get nothing out of it. Like, I feel like they still have their price that they want, or they'll keep him around, which is ludicrous.
Insane.
Like,
That's insane.
I know. But until they actually say, hey, you're so bad, we don't want you, we're cutting you, I'm not going to believe it, because
you can't have him be Trey Lance's backup for the same reason that
I don't agree that he can.
The locker room is behind Jimmy. It's poisonous to have them together another year. They're
exactly.
behind Jimmy. Yeah,
that's what I said last year. You can't move the new girlfriend into the apartment when the old girlfriend is still living there.
That's what they tried to do. That's what they tried to do. And everyone's going to hate the new girlfriend like she's some Jezebel coming in, trying to break up a happy home.
That's what I was saying. Like, Kittle's comments and stuff, like, once the offseason hit, I was critical of it because you could tell he's still Team Jimmy. Yeah. Because he's saying, oh, well, he said, Lance has potential. No, say Lance is the freaking present right now. Say he's the starter. Man. Like, what are you talking about potential for still?
He's gone to battle for Jimmy Garoppolo for hours, endlessly. Yep. Anyone who would listen, oh, he's way better than people give him credit for. The most he'll say about Trey Lance is that he's talented. Come on, man. That's your quarterback now. And if you can't get behind him, then maybe we should trade you.
All right, explain it. See, it all goes back to the crap you started on Twitter. Explain it to me, though, Grant. I don't understand this. Mm-hmm. Why does Jimmy have this love in the locker room? I mean, these guys watch the film. Don't they see? Isn't Jimmy being called out when he misses Ayuk running wide open down the sideline, or when he freaking airmails Kyle Juszczyk multiple times when he's wide open down the field? What is it about Jimmy that has earned this undying loyalty?
It's a great question. I've been thinking about it a lot. Think about it from a player such as Eric Armstead's perspective. I've never talked to Eric about this, but try to think of it from Armstead's perspective, or Tart's perspective, or Jimmy Ward's perspective. These are guys who were around when the Niners really sucked, and they were around for Chip Kelly. Then Kyle Shanahan comes in, promising, but they start 1-10. And then for whatever reason, Jimmy comes in, they start winning. And so a guy like a strong safety, a free safety, a defensive tackle, is he really in the offensive meetings being like, oh, damn, dude, he should have got that ball out quicker. He missed his first read. Or are they just sitting back like, I don't really give a fuck. We win with this guy. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't win with a lot of other quarterbacks. I just like winning. I'm not going to overthink it. Let's just keep Jimmy. From Tart's perspective, I think it's as simple as that. Or Armstead's perspective.
You can also throw in the fact that his backups have been,
that's true.
C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins. Like, by comparison, he looks a heck of a lot better. Like, you don't know better. And now you had Trey Lance come in, and he's a rookie. So I think there's a little bit of hesitance there from veterans going, playoff time, I don't want to go to a rookie, even though, I mean, you can look at the results and say, couldn't have been worse than what Jimmy put up.
Right. I mean, I think
in the playoffs this year,
he was like, look, the quarterback is the most important position on the team. Jimmy's the quarterback. We tend to win with Jimmy. That's the logic. And I think people are like, I mean, you can nitpick, you can say this and that, but we win. He's the quarterback. Let's just not mess with it. And from Kyle's perspective, he's like, okay, but it's because of me. It's not because of Jimmy. Can you please see it from my perspective? And so far, the locker room's like, no. And that's why I think it's really important that Kyle makes a freaking choice here, gets Jimmy off the team, and tells the team, like, look, I know you like him, but this isn't a social club. It's a business. Our job is to win this Super Bowl. He couldn't do it. We're going to give it a try with Trey. Everyone needs to get on board, and if you're not, let me know so I can ship you out of town. He needs to do that because last year was sort of like a half in, half out thing that, I mean, I don't think worked. And I still think they could have won the Super Bowl, should have won the Super Bowl, but this quarterback thing held him back.
I don't think there's any indication that they couldn't have gone just as far with Trey Lance. Like, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo led the team to a grand total of 0 offensive touchdown drives against the Packers. He had 2 touchdown drives against the Cowboys, one of which was a one-play 26-yard run, I think, by Deebo Samuel. Like, Trey Lance easily could have done that because there wasn't that much that was actually done.
So let me ask you guys a question real quick. I want to ask you guys a question as a guest. I'm sorry. I'm hijacking the show.
Go ahead.
Now that we know that Jimmy Garoppolo's trade value is either very low or he's going to get cut, was it the right move for the 49ers to keep Jimmy Garoppolo last year?
No.
In retrospect.
No.
Fuck no!
I mean, Rob, I was at least the middleman. Rob was right away as soon as the draft happened, get rid of Jimmy. I was, well, you got to know what the locker room is. I said, if the locker room is super loyal to Jimmy, you got to get him out of there because the new quarterback needs to be able to win the locker room. I think in retrospect, that is the case, that the locker room was incredibly loyal to Jimmy and they made the wrong choice in keeping the guy around. Like, you can't have a farewell tour as the quarterback.
Nope.
And I feel like that's what the Niners were thinking they could do. Let's have a farewell tour. And I asked Rob before the season, what happens if this ends up being Jimmy wins the Super Bowl? Like, how are you going to feel in that locker room? How's the locker room going to feel if you win a Super Bowl and then you ship him out?
Yeah.
Like, what was the best case scenario here?
Out of him in like a Trent Dilfer season. Could happen.
And I was saying before the NFC Championship game, it does not matter what happens in the next 2 games. Jimmy still has to go. Look at Joe Flacco. The Ravens were worse off for keeping Joe Flacco after winning the Super Bowl.
That's the worst thing that ever happened to them. Yes.
Let me ask you this, because I've heard rumblings of this, and I don't know if it's true, and you would have more insight into this than I would, because I'm living in Connecticut right now. I heard that when in the beginning of the year, the Niners were moving Lance in and he comes in against Detroit and he throws a touchdown and they're putting him in the red zone. I had heard that early on, there were some veterans that did not sit well with, and that they went to Kyle Shanahan and said, we don't like this. Stop this. You're undermining Jimmy Garoppolo. Did you catch wind of that?
I heard the same thing. I mean, I didn't hear it directly from a player, but I heard the same rumors around. Yeah, I've definitely heard that. And I think it played out the rest of this. Why did they stop using? Why did they play Lance at the end of the first drive of the first game when he had just broken his finger a couple of weeks before? He was not even 100% healthy. They played him at the end of the first drive and then never again after the bye. What was that about? I think it's pretty clear what that's about.